Here we are at Clothesline, the show where we string them up, put them to dry and wring them clean on the clothesline. Rahul Gandhi observed last week that there was a lot of anger in India. Hey guys, give him his due. At least he noticed, doesn't matter, it was a bit slow. In other news, he also just got the punchline of a joke we made in last week's Clothesline. Mumbai, Shanghai to nahi bana, Venice ban gaya. Now you may think the anger is obvious, but not to him, since he was missing in action when all the anger was on the streets.
72 hours after that brutal rape of a student in Delhi, an angry nation has come together for justice. There were politicians of the BJP also on the street protesting against Sheila Dixit, but so were several ordinary citizens.
पंजाब में डेमोक्रेसी लाने का, पंजाब के युवाओं को भविष्य देने का काम आप लोगों ने अपने खून से किया है.
Rahul gave the example of Punjab, where peace was restored after a long period of militancy. Great example, Rahul. We are hoping things won't have to get that bad before someone decides to do something about it. Punjab was carpet bombed by KPS Gill. Every other young Sikh was in jail, harassed, questioned, if not tortured. And yes, peace was restored, but through what can only be called a long, protracted war of the state against a raging militancy.
In 1984, the shrine became a battleground. The Indian Army attacked in force to destroy armed Sikh militants fighting for an independent state they called Clothesline. The militants had paralysed the state with a campaign of murder, bombings and kidnapping.
Terror was palpable. You could feel it in the air.
Over the next decade, the Punjab police killed thousands of militants, and many thousands of innocent civilians also lost their lives.
So I'm not sure whether you're suggesting this anger is similar or this is where it's heading, because I sure hope not. You know, Rahul, this worries me about you. These examples you give without any understanding of history or context. A bit like if Modi were to say, "Logon mein gussa hai, ye acha nahi hai. Gussa zara kam karo. Nahi to 2002 yaad hai na?" Doesn't sound good, huh? Neither does Rahul. So Rahul Baba decreed that, like Punjab, the anger must be brought down. Does that mean we're looking at a war against the angry middle class? Are they going to pull bottom-pinching KPS Gill out of the woodwork to torture people? Relax, Rahul. If that's what you want, your police has started doing that anyway. And really, Rahul, who writes your speeches? I worry for you. क्योंकि एक स्पीच एक सोच है, एक स्पीच भी है और एक सोच भी है, and neither can we understand your speech or your सोच.
हिंदुस्तान एक सोच है, हिंदुस्तान एक जगह है, मगर हिंदुस्तान एक सोच है. इस सोच को ये जवान बनाते हैं, आप बनाते हो, आपके अफसर बनाते हैं, मंत्री जी बनाते हैं. हिंदुस्तान की जो सोच है, सबको शामिल करके हमें आगे बढ़ना है.
1, 2, 3, 4. Stop! Think and listen. Rahul is back with his brand new vision. Where Bharat is a soch and Spain is a boat. ऐसी भद्दी स्पीच का कौन है coach? Stop! Think and listen. Rahul is back with his brand new vision. Hey, you are here? Okay.
CRPF एक ऐसी फोर्स है जो पूरे हिंदुस्तान में देश के लिए काम करती है, लड़ती है. हमारे लोकतंत्र को भी गहरा करने में CRPF हमें मदद करती है.
नहीं, पूरी देश में लड़ती तो देश के पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज भी हैं. काम का पता नहीं. हाँ, लोकतंत्र को गहरा बेशक CRPF ने किया, लेकिन उसको डुबाया आपकी पार्टी ने.
हमारे लोकतंत्र को भी गहरा करने में CRPF हमें मदद करती है.
Really? Who writes your speeches, Rahul Baba? लोकतंत्र को गहरा किया? In politics, where everybody is keen to take credit for anything, we want to know who writes Rahul's speeches. Arnab, are you listening? The nation wants to know. Please find out and inform us.
एक महिला थी, राजकली, और वो एक ऐसी महिला थी जो कुछ साल पहले गरीब हुआ करती थी,
मतलब 27 रुपए के नीचे होती थी।
तो मैंने उनसे पूछा गरीबी का मतलब क्या होता है। जरूर गरीबी का मतलब ये होता है कि पैसा नहीं है, और आप गरीबी से जो निकली, कैसे निकली आप? कोई मेरे घर में आता था, गांव का कोई आता था, मुझसे पूछता था घर में कोई है, तो मैं कहती थी नहीं, घर में कोई नहीं है।
Is anybody home? मैंने कहा था तुमसे, कोई है हमारे घर में।
और उसने मुझे कहा कि जिस दिन मैंने दरवाजा खोल दिया, जिस दिन मैं उस दरवाजे के बाहर चली गई, उस दिन मैं गरीबी से निकल गई।
So all of you who are poor and are watching this show, because as per Mr. Pankaj Pachori and the PMO, 450 million Indians are online. All of you need to open the door and step out and niklo from your garibi. And if you don't have a door, just move the curtain, which doubles as a door, and step out. Those of you on the street who don't have a door or window or curtain, you're anyway out of garibi.
जानकारी, कि अगर जानकारी नहीं हो व्यक्ति में, तो आत्मविश्वास नहीं हो सकता।
We usually don't make fun of pronunciations of any language, but Atam Vishwas? Is Atam even a word? Mamma mia! What a nimbupani!
आत्मविश्वास नहीं है, आत्मविश्वास की कमी कोई नहीं है।
Lest we be accused of only criticizing and not offering solutions, here is the man who can make sure गरीबी से सब निकल आए। दया, गरीबी से निकालो।
अगर और कोई रास्ता नहीं है तो फिर दरवाजा तोड़ दो।
और उसके बाद हर साल तकरीबन 100 करोड़ रुपए अमेठी की इकोनॉमी में आएंगे।
Was Rahul Gandhi's announcement about what Amethi will be given a gift to Amethi or a gift to himself? You see, Rahul Gandhi believes that the CRPF soldiers do not know that Amethi is his family's gaddi. Give me a break. You've got to give him full marks for brazenness, though. It's Mamma Mia's treasury. Didn't your parents tell you charity starts at home? So he's only being a good boy, generously bestowing 100 crores a year to his own constituency. I guess it is better security for the future than buying property at throwaway prices from a real estate company.
His firm paid rates way lower than the collector's fixed circle rates for this region.
Look at what Rahul is competing with. No, I'm not a Narendra Modi supporter, but watch the speech. This guy just gets it. But honestly, when Modi says Ferguson College, it surely sounds more like Harkishan College. Listen carefully.
मैं फर्ग्यूसन कॉलेज में आना मेरा जब तय हुआ तो मैंने एक छोटा सा प्रयोग किया। मैं सोशल मीडिया में बहुत एक्टिव हूँ, ट्विटर, फेसबुक पर इस नई पीढ़ी के साथ मैं जुड़ा रहता हूँ। उनके विचारों को जानने का मुझे बहुत अच्छा अवसर मिलता है। तो मैंने इस फर्ग्यूसन कॉलेज में आने से पहले फेसबुक पर एक रिक्वेस्ट लिखी थी। मैं फर्ग्यूसन कॉलेज जा रहा हूँ, वहां से विद्यार्थी मित्रों से मिल रहा हूँ। आपको क्या लगता है मुझे क्या कहना चाहिए?
Predictably last week too, Diggy was at his classy best with this comment. Sautanchmal apparently loosely translated means 100% awesome goods for a woman. So we figured in typical knee-jerk reaction, we will do what all good feminists do. Reverse the situation. To rate the men in Indian politics, we have a tanchometer. I said men. Since we are on the subject of, well, men, here's Mr. Tiwari. 2 or 3 bottles of acid were spotted by Tiwari outside his home. According to ANI, he claimed this was all part of a larger plan of an acid attack on him. Who knew Tiwari had a spurned lover?
Information and Broadcasting Minister Manish Tiwari alleges an acid attack attempt on him. 3 to 4 bottles of acid were recovered from outside the minister's residence in Chandigarh last night.
Now, Manish, let me tell you, acid is used in most homes across India to clean bathrooms for those who have them. For those who have stepped out of the door and have therefore come out of Garibi and thus have to step back in to go to the loo because the bathroom is now inside for them. and not for those who have remained in their houses and therefore not stepped out and not got out of Garibi, but have to go outdoors to go to the bathroom because they do not have one indoors. Which begs the question, Rahul, if you step outdoors to go to the bathroom because you don't have one inside, have you stepped out of Garibi or are you stepping into Garibi? Anyway, this is a bit too confusing. It's not just Diggy who's suffering from foot-and-mouth disease. Jairam Ramesh also got in the act and called a female doctor a road roller because she's a bit stout and said that her husband deserved a Padma Bhushan for living with her. Whoa. Our ministers keeping it classy always. And the Western media went a bit cuckoo covering the birth of Kate and William's baby, giving a blow-by-blow account from the moment the poor woman went into labour.
Yeah, well, effectively we had a few sort of photographic sources telling us that they saw something going on around the back of a hospital, and then we had the formal emails from Kensington Palace, as simple as that, and they said she's in the early hours of labour.
And then what is called the town crier announced the birth. Buckingham Palace officials, of course, live in their own world. For them, Winston Churchill is still Prime Minister, India is still their colonial possession, and there are no other ways of communication other than a man dressed up in band baja clothes shouting out the arrival of the new royal baby and ringing a ghanta.
July, in the year 2013, we welcome with humble duty a future king. God save the Queen!
Not only that, even before Kate went into labour, CNN medical correspondent Elizabeth Cohen was interviewing women who were in the middle of labour contractions and obviously in a lot of pain. Trust me, I know. But why should that stop a CNN reporter from putting a microphone in the face of a woman about to give birth? Firangi version of, "Aapko kaise lag raha hai?"
I'm here in the delivery room with April. She's about to have a baby.
It doesn't make you laugh though, even though it's called laughing gas.
So nothing's funny right now?
No, nothing is funny.
Then a huge blooper. Apparently a royal insider, Victoria Arbiter, asked to comment on the birth of the baby, said something that would come out of the mouth of a stupid mother-in-law or a cup, that the birth of a boy was so very essential and important. Also, she called Kate a real royal, right, after all the fuss of William marrying what they call a commoner or mango person in our language.
Oh, I was just thrilled. I mean, I can't believe that we finally, after all this waiting, know that we have a boy. So my first thought, I have to say, was this is how brilliant a royal Kate is. There are women throughout British royal family history that have panicked over not being able to deliver a boy. And here we are, Kate did it first time.
But CNN is not alone in bad reporting. Fox News interviewed religions scholar Reza Aslan on their show Spirited Debate. The host, Lauren Green, seemed most concerned about how Aslan, a Muslim, could write a book on Jesus.
You're a Muslim, so why did you write a book about the founder of Christianity? Why would you be interested in the founder of Christianity? You're promoting yourself as a scholar, and I've interviewed scholars who have written books on the resurrection, on, the real Jesus, and who are looking at the same information that you're saying. To say that your information is somehow different from theirs is really not being honest here.
Aslan, hats off to him, explains in very slow, measured tones that he is a scholar of religion, that it is his job to write on religions. He has 4 PhDs on religions. Get it?
I am a PhD in the history of religions. This isn't a Muslim opinion. This is an academic work of history.
But then why would a Democrat want to promote democracy by writing about a Republican?
So, Lauren, it seems that Democrats spread democracy and Republicans spread republics. It's strange, though, that Green's concern for this inter-religion interest did not extend to the Baptist professor who had written a book on Islam, whom she interviewed in 2011. Barry Van had written a book on Puritan Islam. But not once did Green ask him why a Southern Baptist wanted to write a book about the Muslim world.
And Dr. Van joins me now on set. Welcome.
Thanks, I'm glad to be here. Tickled to death.
You talk about a Puritan Muslim immigrants. Now, who are they? Who are you referring to?
Jesus, what's wrong with you, woman? Lahore Bala Kuvad. Ms. Green, different strokes for Muslim folks? On Barkhas, the buck stops here, which incidentally should be renamed Pass the Buck, which is what most speakers do on that program. She had, amongst others, two what I call tourist commentators.
Professor Ashutosh Varshney, a director with the India Initiative at Brown University, also consulting editor with the Indian Express. With me in the studio, Lord Meghnad Desai, well-known commentator, also Professor Emeritus with London School of Economics.
Ashutosh Varshney, who incidentally did his whole panel discussion not looking at the camera but in profile. He is Professor of International Studies in the Social Sciences and Director of India Initiative in Brown University in Rhode Island, United States of America. And
in the studio, Lord Meghnad Desai, well-known commentator.
Lord Meghnad Desai, introduced as well-known commentator. My question is, do you get the same bhav there as you get here? Does anyone there even want to know what you think of governance? Or is it just the Desi channels who care what you think? Mani Shankar Iyer has the unique ability to sleep through all his television appearances while others speak.
The very reason that we are discussing Lokpal
but can wake up just to spit out contempt to all around and go back to sleep.
I pray that there is ghee shakkar in your mouth and can tell the team Anna to go back to flogging drunkards in Ralegaon.
So bloody what?
And while Mani carried on his usual vituperative style, Madhukeshwar is again in her usual mode. Remember that time when she kept saying she wanted to puke a while ago on Headlines Today?
Because I began puking.
Which language do you?
While
people
She was in the same barfing mode on this show.
I think the Congress party has debased and caricatured this term and made it so hateful that I feel like puking when I hear.
After hearing what Mani Shankar Iyer said about Madhukeshwar, she really should have puked after being name-called by Iyer, what do you call her? A quisling. She would have puked if she knew the meaning of the word. Hell, I had to look it up in the dictionary. Quisling. At least Mani improves our vocabulary, if nothing else.
In confronted with the kind of language, with the kind of philosophy, with the kind of background and with the kind of actions that Narendra Modi takes, a well-known secularist like Madhukeshwar has chosen to become his quisling. She's welcome to do so. But I'm not willing to be a quisling to secularism.
Platitudes, sun ke kaan pak gaye mere. Okay?
Well, at least she's moved from her stomach churning over to her ears getting cooked. But she held out an olive branch to her friend Mani Shankar Iyer. On public television, Madhukeshwar offered to take a trip to Gujarat with Mani Shankar Iyer. Dangerous stuff here. And how does Mani respond to her? In his usual gracious way.
Now, Mani Shankar Iyer, I know one of the dearest causes to his heart is Panchayati Raj and rural development. If he was serious about it, he would visit Gujarat villages and say, that is where real development is taking place. Devolution of powers of the most serious kind has taken place in Gujarat, which is why Gujarat villages...
It's taken place for decades, and Narendra Modi refused me permission to come to Gujarat as Minister of Panchayat Raj.
Mani, mere saath chal, yaar. Let's go together. Let's be friends. You and I have an old friendship.
No, I can't be friends with a quisling.
Javed Akhtar had a question to the nation, and it is a valid question. If Modi is looking at the Prime Minister's gaddi, I guess the best way to win over Muslims in India, 14% of the population, is not with analogies of little puppies coming under the wheels of his car. This is as bad as comparing middle-class anger to Punjab militancy. And we really have to choose between these two?
Here is a very simple question to everybody who is watching this program. I don't want the answer from the panel. I am requesting people who are viewing this show to think about it. In Ritter's interview, he was asked, how do you feel about the victims of the riot? He answered in a particular manner. I'll repeat the answer. Suppose the question would have been, how do you feel about those people who were barbarically burned in Sabarmati train by some inhuman people, some terrorists? If this would have been the question, do you think he would have said कि अगर गाड़ी के पहिए के नीचे कुत्ते का बच्चा भी आ जाता है तो दुख तो होता है? He would have said that. That's all.
And the Delhi police, while shooting bikers dead and not saving us from rapists, has also been encouraging child labour. On Monday, we were all privileged to see this ad in all our papers. Teach him how to chop onions before he learns how to chop heads. That's the advertising slogan. So the only option for our children is to either work in dhabas or to become homicidal delinquents. Why send them to school when you can teach them how to make bengan bharta for you? And don't miss the statistics. Delhi police has saved 84 children from the chopping business, but rehabilitated only 11 of them. Really? Do you want to brag about these numbers? First, the Delhi police promotes child labour, then it publicizes how inefficient they are at protecting street children, and then asks us for funds to support this utterly ridiculous campaign. Where are the 73 children who you haven't rehabilitated? Still in the chopping business? Delhi police, helping us keep our children on the streets. Thank you so much. Times of India, the star headline creator, carried the mother of all headlines in reference to the creation of a separate state. If you thought that was bad, take a look at this. At 66, Mother India gets ready for her 29th baby. Were they trying to be funny, sarcastic, or just sexist? Here are some more headlines for that same writer. A 66-year-old Gujarat, still dry, can't get a stiff one. 19-year-old Chhattisgarh, roofied by 46-year-old Naxalism. If you can think of any more, write into us. We can never do a clothesline without Arnab. Here it is, Boria who stole the show. Listen to this.
Give me 30 seconds. On the one hand is cricket, on the one hand is cricket lovers, on the one hand is judiciary, on the one hand is law, on the one hand is credibility, on the one hand is the statement, this is not cricket, and on the other hand is lust for power.
Oh, Boria, Durga Ma. Durga. And now this gentleman, please decide which side you're on, because I can't figure it out. Neither could Arnab, and nor could anybody else.
What's going on, Mr. Soni?
No.
Yes.
I am not talking about that. I am saying the panel has been wrongly constituted.
Exactly, so you admit it. Who is the bully?
Arnab, I am not representing my association in the managing committee. But I am sure that my association and my president has mentioned to the powers to be that whatever they have constituted has not been done in a legal framework, and also whatever decisions are being taken when Mr. Dalmia was asked to be the interim president, it was not legal.
So 1 second. So what happens? He doesn't know what is constituted. We have two letters on the news now. Treasurer does not know. Here's the letter of the treasurer. Shirke's letter.
Arnab, I really have to read that letter? Okay. Okay, got it. Thanks. That's a wrap for the week. If you have any moments from journalism that made you go, oh wow, or oh crap, write into us or tweet to us. We are the change. You are the change, for better or worse. Never do nothing. Stay connected. Stay online.